Now let's look at Bristol City and in terms of their future and the direction they're going to go on. Obviously, if you'd have asked this 12 months ago, you'd have thought Liam Manning was going to be ready to go again at the prospect of achieving the playoffs once more and getting Bristol City closer to the Premier League. But that hasn't been the case. Manning obviously recently moving to Norwich City and then it threw a bit of a spanner in the works. Obviously, Gerhard Struber comes in. It changes a lot of output, a lot of ideas going forward. But then you have to look at the positives. I mean, they've got momentum. They finished sixth. Yes, it was with now their former manager, but their first top six finish in 17 years. The playoffs didn't quite go to plan, but, massive momentum there. And the players are still going to be remembering the sort of pressing, control-based style that they had. And they maximised limited resources as well. The likes of 24 players against Sheffield United's 33 in that playoff game. Obviously, didn't quite go to plan in the end, but a nice tight-knit group. Obviously, managerial transition will be vital in maintaining the momentum towards that promotion push. And then squad strength and academy. They've got key performers, Jason Knight, Emerson Mehmeti as well. These are top players who could really get them close to that promotion. So, in terms of the future, we're going to go to our Bristol correspondent, Dan. Dan, in terms of Bristol City, the Championship hopes, where are they and what's it looking like in terms of the future and where they're going to go as a club?
Well, Charles, I think if you'd asked me that question probably even about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it would have been a completely different answer because, of course, they had no permanent manager or head coach in at that point, given the fact that Liam Manning had departed for Norwich City. But now things are different. They've got Gerhard Struber in from FC Köln and things look a lot more rosy. Now, that's not to say everything will go brilliantly well when the season kicks off in August at Ashton Gate, but it certainly makes the club just look a lot more streamlined and a lot more aligned in terms of their direction. But I think, to be honest, though, bringing in Gerhard Struber has just alleviated this direction and ambition they have as a club. Certainly in his press conference with John Lansdowne, the chairman of the club, they seem to talk about obviously wanting to promote youth at the club and streamline that pathway through from the academy through to the first team and become, if anything, quite a sustainable club in terms of promoting their academy talent and giving them a chance at first team level football. But also they want to be a club that's ambitious in the transfer market as well and push on up the Championship table because, of course, last season they did qualify for the Championship playoffs under Liam Manning. They got to the semi-final stage and, of course, then were knocked out by Sheffield United 6-0 aggregate. It was a bit of a hammering overall, but the red card in the first leg certainly didn't help them at all. And realistically, after that point, they had little to no chance. But that experience that will have given them will have been invaluable for a lot of the squad at Ashton Gate, and just in terms of knowing exactly what they need to do next season and how they need to be better next season. The only worry is, of course, Liam Manning got a lot out of what some would argue was a middling Championship squad. Yes, they could add to it this summer, but certainly the core of it wasn't, let's say, promotion worthy. They would have certainly struggled an awful lot, I think, if they had gone up via the playoffs. That's not to say, though, that the recruitment this summer won't turn things around or at least improve their squad depth and indeed their squad quality too. And Gerhard Struber certainly seems like a manager who knows what he wants. In his interviews, he's made clear that he has a direction and an aim for Bristol City this season, and he knows what the club expect of him. And I think that just that clear vision as well will just help people at Ashton Gate and supporters certainly appreciate that this is going to be a club that's going to be pushing perhaps even above their weight in the upcoming Championship season. Certainly there'll be clubs with bigger funds in the recruitment sector, but certainly not a club perhaps who will drive and try so hard to succeed as Bristol City. So lots to be excited about in that regard. So I think in terms of ambition, they want to be sustainable as a club in terms of creating this pathway for youth to come through and to give them a chance in the first team, but also they want promotion. They want to get to the Premier League. And that's a really invaluable thing to have as a club, that determination and that drive for success as a club.